Welcome, everyone. It's the CenterPoint Pulse coming to you on October 20th at CenterPoint Strategies. We thought we'd just bring some of the noteworthy things going on in the markets, economy, things that are getting headlines. So I'd start off with just saying, number one, we are hearing a lot over the last week or two about some of the issues going on in private credit. So if you think about, there's different types of credit. Private credit is referring to the shadow banking system or the more opaque, like think about the regulated banks are doing less and less lending. So there's this other side that's private credit where a lot of advisors, a lot of people are wanting to put money in and you don't have the stringent oversight and the regulations, but you don't have the due diligence too and the really the regulation, I guess, as a backstop. So there's a lot more questions when like the first brands fallout happens a couple weeks ago. You know, it's an auto parts supplier that I think there's anywhere between like 10 to 50 billion of liability that they're trying to sort out, like a lot of vendor financing, supply chain financing. And so there's double accounting on a lot of that stuff, which it's a really big problem when you have, two liabilities on the same claim, essentially. So this is one of the risks in the shadow banking sector. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon came out and just basically said there's almost never one cockroach. There's always more that appear. So we are paying attention to this. It's actually it's interesting. And bond year, I guess the 10-year yield, the treasury yield has dipped below 4%. I think it's interesting what's going on. Credit spreads are still tight, but you have this shadow banking issue, which we're going to see. Maybe it's a one-off. Maybe it's not. We're paying attention.
Yeah, this is the first time in almost 3 years that we have under 4% on the 3-month treasury. We're at 3.9%. So it'll be interesting. Trump was on the cover of The Economist, and the title was "Run It Hot." And basically the thesis is that we're going to be growing our way out of these deficits and kind of the tariffs and things that are going on. So over the next 3 to 4 years, we're going to see strong growth, and we'll kind of wait to see if that happens. One thing is reshoring. We here at CenterPoint think it's not going to be a snap of a finger. It's going to be maybe a 5 or 10-year process. As we build these factories, you're going to see high levels of automation, robotics in there. But really, we need a whole generation to kind of realize that manufacturing is an attractive field to go into.
Well, you're not going to just quit your mortgage broker job and just go, pick up a sledgehammer. I don't think that's going to take time. It's going to be interesting. One of the other things that's really getting a lot of headlines is Elon Musk's pay package. So this is a massive deal. Not even anywhere close has this been done in history. A $1 trillion pay package, incentive package. So essentially over 10 years, they put, they have basically metrics that he's got to hit. For a 1.5 trillion market cap, it's got to go to 8.5 trillion. That's one of the metrics. He's got to grow the robotaxi business, the robotics arm. So there's different things he's got to hit, but essentially you have the Delaware. If people remember in Delaware, the court turned down $56 billion pay package in I don't remember when that was, but essentially
2018, I think.
Well, 2018 was the start, but I think 2024. Okay. And we essentially, it's sitting in the appeals court, so that actually could be reinstated along with this 1 trillion. And it's going to be very interesting because you have big index funds, right? And they're getting a ton of heat because these have tons of money, sometimes trillions of dollars in these index funds, and they're going to proxy it, and they're saying no, we don't want. Go to everyone and say no, we don't want this deal to go through. So vote no in there.
And Tesla's a huge holding in the index.
It's a huge holding. So it represents, Kathy Wood, the ARK fund manager, went on and she's basically saying this is an issue with our investment landscape today. It's basically you have the guys with all the money cramming down the throats of other little guys. Just vote no on it. Just pass it up. Vote no. but you didn't do the real due diligence, maybe. So interesting to have that going on.
Well, another thing that was interesting, it came out kind of this morning and over the weekend, was AWS, the Amazon Web Services, had an outage. And it was more impactful, I believe, than the government shutdown.
Oh, that's a great.
Yeah, if you go onto your apps or maybe a website and it literally wouldn't load. So really incredible. The scale and reach that Amazon has kind of shows you when there's only a couple providers and something like this happens, it can be a big deal. So
yeah, you just go to pay at a restaurant. Oh, well, we can only accept cash today. That type of
exactly,
thing. Yeah.
really interesting stuff happening with that at scale too. So
Well, I think that's it for today, but yeah, these are kind of what's going on today, and we hope to see you next time.
thank you all.